Welcome to GibbsCAM High Speed Machining. GibbsCAM is committed to bringing machine shops non-traditional, state-of-the-art CNC processes such as probing, broaching, hybrid additive machining, prime turning, Y-axis turning and parting, tool library management, and high-speed, high-feed milling and turning, all geared towards reducing costs and increasing throughput. In this part file, we will look at two high-speed machining capabilities inside of GibbsCAM, the first of which is high-feed milling, which we used for open or unconfined areas, and the second will be VoluMill, which we use for end mill roughing in confined closed areas. Let's take a look at the first tool path and the first tool. A high-feed cutter is simply an end mill about 2 inches in diameter, 5 flutes, with a very shallow lead-in angle. The tool path in this case is a simple 2-axis contour. The material is alloy steel at Rockwell C35. We're running 1600 RPM and 160 inches of feed rate with a ramp down of 45 thousandths. When we simply click on the geometry of the part, we get this beautiful tool path that roughs the material away from the outside of the part. The next step, we will rough from the top down to this step. And here in GibbsCAM, when you want to select a step, simply double-click, press your Alt key, and click on that step, and that dimension jumps right into the menu. In GibbsCAM, as always, we will have use stock and material only, which simply means don't cut air. It will only cut material left by the previous operations in the list. Let's have a look at that again, Ops 1 and 2. Let's rewind and play, and we'll speed that up just a little bit. Op 1 roughs all the way down to the bottom of the part, and then Op 2 roughs out the first step. Remember, high feed milling is for unconfined open areas, and volume milling is for confined areas where we can get an end mill in there. Now, here's the first pass almost done. We'll speed this up a little bit, and now we'll watch the second pass, roughing all the material off of the second step. All of this is done very quickly. Now, let's have a look at the volume mill aspect. And what we have here is a combined process, a 3/4 inch drill, and a volume mill process. Let's look at what makes volume mill tick and what makes volume mill work. If we have a look at the volume mill tool path, you'll see that it looks like a bowl of spaghetti. That's because volume mill had its beginnings in 1953 as trochoidal machining. Volume mill is trochoidal machining on steroids. The short contact length and smooth circular motion allows us to cut any material soft or hard. Volume mill's basic 5 advantages are: number 1, dramatically shorter cycle times, longer tool life, and reduction in part distortion. Less horsepower is required because of the long length and only 6 to 12% step over on the end mill. We have less dependency on workpiece clamping due to low cutting forces. Better chip management due to more consistent and smaller chips. Volume mill is suitable for smaller machines with low horsepower and is suitable for all materials and especially hard high temperature alloys. Here, we have the VoluMill technology export, which is trained and built inside of GibbsCAM to allow you to cut any material. All you do is select a material, the Rockwell hardness, and what your machine is capable of, and VoluMill creates the 4 cornerstones of end mill roughing: RPM, feed rate, depth of cut, and width of cut. Here we are going to leave 25 thousandths of XY stock. We're going to helix in wherever possible, and as always, use stock material only. You'll notice that we have a drilling process combined with the VoluMill process. It will go into any cavity and pre-drill a hole automatically matching the Z-axis height of the VoluMill process. Let's step ahead and watch the VoluMill process now that the step is almost done. Let's slow that down a little bit, hit the rewind button, and let's use a trick in GibbsCAM called Skip Unselected Ops. When you select Skip Unselected Ops, it will remove all of the material from previous ops in the program. Then we can slow down the playback speed and watch the drill and VoluMill do their jobs. VoluMill is removing all of the material that was left by the 2-inch high feed cutter. As it gets into the pockets, you'll see that because we have pre-drilled it, there is relatively little material to take out. You'll notice the smooth circular motion of VoluMill, which can double or quadruple your tool life. It also leads to very low or no part distortion, even on very tough to machine materials. Let's move now to a VoluTurn part, and let's see how VoluTurn works in a CNC mill turn center. On the lathe, you may have VoluMill for your mill turn applications, but let's have a look at VoluTurn, which is a high-speed roughing technique, and we're going to rough out this groove using this button tool. This button tool is 1/4 of an inch in diameter, carbide insert coated, and the VoluTurn menu has these parameters in it. We're going to do forward, right to left cutting, back and forth for best efficiency, auto notch ramp, which varies the entry point of the insert to keep from notching the insert in the same spot every time. Cut depth is 0.035, max RPM we set to 3,500, with a surface feet per minute on this medium steel at 1,250 surface feet per minute. Our feed rate will be 0.035 per revolution with a high feed rate of 0.06. Active chip thickness control is turned on, and what this does is it manages the thickness of the chip in steep and shallow areas, creating a volumetric chip thickness. Here we'll use auto clearance again and material only. We will leave 20 thousandths of finished stock, and let's place our machining markers like we normally would in GibbsCAM on the start and end point of the groove. Let's hit the redo button and watch the toolpath generate here, and let's watch VoluTurn cut out this groove. Keep in mind that VoluTurn and VoluMill are twice as fast with 4 times greater tool life. In GibbsCAM, you have the best of high-speed machining at your fingertips, designed to reduce your scrap, increase your part output, reduce your tool usage, and reduce part distortion. If you have any questions about high-speed machining, please contact your GibbsCAM local reseller.